I'm Yogi Chris, IMC Nation captain and founder of Ninth Limb Yoga. Also PhD, this and that, living here in Vegas and living a good life of game and infield and righteous relationships, a harmonious existence with a team, you know. And so this is an open Q&A. I just want to dialogue with guys, actually. A lot of times I show up and I'm like talking. So like if I say, it's Mike, I see you on. Man, I got these cameras are kind of in the way of each other. Whoever's down here, Real Jay-Z, J-Ziggy, what's up? Live Firm, what's up? I want to dialogue with guys. We got uh, Diamond Bavel on Zoom, and then we're live on these other TikToks. So let's talk game. Let's talk life. Let's talk where you're at. You follow this information. I put these clips out. Man, I need to get off of this Telegram. Yeah. So you guys enjoyed these clips that I put out of AZD. Now I train with this guy. He lives here in Vegas, and I lived with him for 4 years, 4.5 years. I lived with him 3.5 years in San Jose, California, where he was raised. And during the beginning of COVID is when I moved out there and started a big house called a base, where me and three other students moved in with him and saw how real the what's up, Dark Angel? What's up? Come live, Dark Angel. Let's dialogue. I'm just giving a little history to get the conversation going. So anytime you guys got questions, you want to face to face, that's where the most fruits are going to come from. And and then after 3.5 years, it was really sudden. AZD looks at me in the kitchen, says, "Hey, let's go to Vegas." It's like, "Sure, let's go to Vegas." Within 21 days, we were in this house that we're in right now. Interesting because we moved to this other house and we came back to this house, whatever. Bunch of guys moved here, so we had a bunch of houses here. There's been some consolidating, some moving around of people, and new people come, old people drop out, some people stay. And so I live in a base with the most dedicated guys. About 7 or 8 of them have been around at least 5 years and, dedicated at a high level. And I'm the guy that I wrestled at a high level. I went to the top. I got my ass kicked for years. I went to PhD in academics, and it's just 12 years of grinding, grinding, grinding for nonsense, but it's what I did. And then did the yoga business until COVID, kind of a 180 on that one. And then now IMC, which was like another 180 seemingly from yoga, but it's only seemingly because they're actually the same direction. The illusion that yoga and game are in different directions. Okay, everybody, what's up? We got all kinds of people joining on the Instagrams. What's up with everybody? Diamond, how's it going in UK? It's nighttime there, so it's like 8 p.m., right?
It's just gone 9. Well,
9 p.m. It's 8 hours ahead.
yeah. Just
What's going
finishing up
on?
from work, heading back home.
What's that?
Just finishing up from work and heading back home.
Cool, man. What's how long does that take normally?
About 20 minutes.
Yeah. And you're in like the heart of London, or where are you?
No, I'm up north now.
Would you say it's
So
rural or is it still city?
it's a small town.
Small town.
Yeah.
Hey man, are you still doing your slam poetry
I'm looking for places to do it around here. I'm finding places.
around your small town?
Yeah. It's not too far from a big city, so maybe about like half hour, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic from a couple of big cities or bigger cities.
Uh-huh. That's cool. Are you still writing now that you're all caked up with baby mama?
Not so much writing, but I didn't really write too much coming up to that time anyway. So it's
Really?
more of a case of it was just off the top of the head. A
Oh,
lot of the skills
are you
was
still doing that? Do you just bust out rhymes, in conversation?
sometimes I've been jotting a few things down recently, but it's just more of a case of keeping it going, even though it's not so much in front of people.
Yeah. How do you practice? Do you practice that, or do you only do it when you do it in front of somebody?
It it's more of a case of sometimes I do it to music, or sometimes
Yeah.
it feels like it's time to do something. So I just do it for the art of it and the discipline of it
Yeah.
to keep it alive.
Yeah. Well, right on, man. Hey, what's the weather like there in UK right now?
Say that again.
What's the weather like in UK right there right now?
It's dry and it's a bit cold.
Dry and cold. It's
Yeah.
interesting. It just rained here in Vegas. It never rains. It rained
Okay.
here really hard yesterday, like at least half the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. All right. Hey, are you talking to new chicks or what's up with that? How's game?
It's more of a case of online. So just like a couple of dating apps,
Oh yeah.
speaking to them.
Yeah, just like, have you noticed there's a beauty when you when you do your sometimes I hesitate to call it rhymes because you don't always rhyme that way, but like when you do your poetry, have you noticed there's an aesthetic that you're going for that's not given in the words. It's in the delivery and the grammar and the meanings that you're getting across, different than the words in the rhyme. Like, does that make sense to you if I say there's an aesthetic that you're delivering in the poem?
And it's like an audio aesthetic or like an audio sound as opposed to a like word.
Sure, sure. Aaron, come live. DJ Side Effects, come live. Coxony, let's go. Let's talk. Yeah, so there's a sound, is what you're saying that you get across, or that's how
Is
you
that
get
what
it
you mean
across.
when you say aesthetic?
Well, I'm just wondering if you've noticed, is there have you noticed something called an aesthetic or aesthetics of what you're saying when you do your poetry?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
Okay. All right. I don't, maybe you don't need to. I was going to make a comparison to see, because when you're on dating apps, there's an aesthetic that's transferred in the images and the order of the images and how you write about it and everything. It's a poem of a different kind.
Okay. Yeah.
But to make that comparison, I'd have to see if you understood what I mean by that. So again, you don't need to. It's just the only way I know how to talk about it right now. Right on?
Yeah. So like a format kind
Sure.
of
Sure. It's a poem, man. It has to catch their attention in the beginning, and it has to crescendo, and it has to arouse intrigue and answer a question while opening up two more that are worthwhile to the person. And that's where understanding the psychology of the audience, which is, I mean, a dating app is specifically the prettier women. That's like the audience. And it's how could you target with your communication the pretty women? Do you know how to how like you could say certain language that maybe black folks would resonate with, or UK folks would resonate with, or your hometown would resonate with, or I don't know, motherland Africa would, or whatever your job is. You could write a rhyme that would be like people who do that job worldwide would be inspired because you're a fucking janitor and you write about cleaning up other people's shit, but you make it aesthetic so they want to listen to it, but you relate to them because you have language that they especially would relate to, or who knows? Like I'm sure I'm not thinking of the best examples, but um, is there a way? It's like when you're doing social media advertising and marketing, like you try to target age 18 to 24 people who are interested in skateboarding, that are Caucasian from, these three states. And it's like, so, okay, so you're targeting and ideally it's a wasted ad if the ad gets presented to like some 50-year-old Chinese guy in Canada. It's like, bro, that's not even my audience. They're never going to buy if that's not what I'm targeting. So it's like, can you, with your communication, target prettier women? Can their ears catch it and it kind of goes through other people? Or maybe it doesn't go through other people, but it specifically catches on the pretty woman. That's game. Is just calibrating your communication to that so that it hits the right note, it hits the right instrument or whatever, resonates with the right tuning fork. But that would probably be precluded by the conclusion that pretty women are tuned differently than other women. And that women in general, let's go backwards even another step, that women in general are tuned differently than men, or femininity is tuned differently than masculinity, if you call it that. So there's some precursor understandings there, but anyway, I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I'm trying to make this less lecture and more participatory. So people, I've been ignoring TikTok. Sahib, what's up? Ashley, even, you're on. Let's talk. Let's talk for a quick second while you guys got me, because I'm gonna hop off this pretty soon. Dark Angel, you still on? What's up, man? This account doesn't show me who's on. What do you think about that, Diamond Bavel? I know you're about to be home.
Now, it makes more sense now from the conversation to what you were saying.
Yeah.
Adding adding a little spice or a little flavor or frequency that attracts that or that makes
Yeah.
it more that grabs the attention. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, because it's the concepts also. That's why your poetry, I noticed, doesn't always rhyme, but there's
Yeah,
concepts that you're getting across. And so it's those concepts, are those tuned to women, if you want them to be. Just maybe in your poetry it doesn't need to be, but that's game. So when it comes time for that, can you do that? Can everybody, can guys online, can you tune your communication? And then there's just general good communication, listening and asking the right questions, being interested, being present. Like, but so like, is there a way? And if there is, that's the kind of exploration for me. What's up? What's up? Come live, guys. Let's chat. Abdelatif Barada, what's up, man? Where you guys calling from? Conch 28, where you guys calling from? Pop in live. US Roth, man, you were on class today. I want to know your experience, man. How do I add you? Here we go. Invitation sent. Can't get away. All right. What's up? What's up? Come live. Let's talk. Okay? Because I'm kind of out of concept. So if you guys want to come live, let's talk. Let's talk game. I'm the guy that lived with AZD for 4.5 years. Nobody around in IMC Nation has done that. And so I saw a train of women that's probably the wrong word because people use that in like sexual context, but a line of women that were relationships, gorgeous, all aligned in and out of the house. It was just like, and when you hear the conversations and the laughter and the group hangouts and movie, like, and there's just an energy and an aesthetic. There's a beauty to the house and a beauty that just has to be in order because the girls are voluntarily in relationships. You know what I mean? So they have to want to be around. You don't want to go around a messy house, smelly house, like dark, the energy circulations and the lighting and everything. And yet he's a monk and very simple. So it's like, how do you achieve that? Like Diamond, how do you achieve level 10 beauty with level one uh you don't have the best car, you don't have the best house, you don't have the best job, you don't have anything going for it, but the beauty of what's delivered could be 10 out of 10, world class. And versus somebody else that's like a marketer and they put in the fancy car and you know get a shot of me at the top of this hotel, good camera angle out the window, and it's like all these things to position the person to be of value in people's minds. And then when you hear their poetry or their music or whatever, and it's like doesn't measure up. Wait, but people are caught in an illusion about the bells and whistles. They forget that the gift is inside. They think, oh, that packaging is so pretty, it must be so valuable. And then whatever's inside, they've convinced themselves that it's that valuable. They go and see Backstreet Boys with all the girls that are hired for their music videos, and they think, oh, it must be that valuable. The music is like, dude, any choir boy can sing that. They didn't even write the lyrics. Like, literally, it's just a bunch of choir boy sounds. Like, the music sometimes has harmony, but they didn't even make the music. They hired someone else to make the music. It's just a whole pretty ribbons and packaging, but the substance inside is, just from down the street, like a dollar store gift. They got a dollar store gift and put it inside some velvet Versace you know, gift wrap that was like $25, wrapping paper or something. Cool. What is all these messages? People, Tony, what's up? Shared, like, Tony, you want to come live? Let's talk. Invite, invite money line. Invited officially. Okay? Yeah. There's Tony. What's up? Os. Os, everybody. Tony Cash on TikTok, AZD underscore MC, because we're live on other accounts. Tony's coming live with his camera.
I apologize.
Yeah. What's going on, man? You're in Vegas, right? Cool. What's new? What's new on your neck of the woods? Whoa.
Industry here.
Wow.
It makes some things happen out here.
Yeah. What do you think you're gonna make happen out there? What do you have in your mind?
See, come listen to music and freely express himself while making money.
While you make money or while they make money?
Oh, me and my team makes money.
Oh, what are you selling? Are you selling something there?
Well, shows, well, hopefully, long story short, when I came to the first VIP party you guys did in San Jose a few years ago,
Yeah.
I saw how ATD, ran an event, a club, the girls, the models, even the owner. And I came back home and I'm like, well, shit, I got to do something out here, you know? So I connected two guys in the music industry and we put on events and, music events like techno, EDM. And we made it up. I was just going to do it for fun, this one show for fun. And we ended up making quite a bit of money and did dozens of shows.
Nice.
Wisconsin, you can only get so far. And of course, I was being stupid and partying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to expand my horizons.
Uh-huh.
Things were working out for me because every time I'd come and I'd attend a beast camp or a VIP party or like the speed dating event, I'd come back home and I'd be like motivated for like a week or maybe even a month. And I'm like, okay, I got to do something. Well, I had to move. So here I am in Vegas. I know I was able to attend like a residency for a week and weekend. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I should have some money coming in here pretty soon where I'll be able to invest in that again.
That's dope.
And well, I know, and I'm getting chills right now. Whenever I attend a beast camp or a residency, like something really good happens after. So
of course,
I'm basically gonna like invest that momentum into this. I'm still passionate about it. Like the guy that I connected with, he moved here from Detroit because obviously you only get so far in the music scene in Detroit. I mean, the Midwest in general.
Yeah.
And he ended up falling out with his former business partner, kind of similar story to mine. And here we are, we connected here.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, the women out here, oh my God.
We're at in Vegas?
In Vegas, dude.
Yeah.
I get chills right now. Thinking of the grocery store, but I go to a couple of the clubs here and like seeing you and ACD and like attending the residency last February, like it gave me so much confidence just to be able to like talk to them.
Exactly. Because they're just people and you just gotta, it's just like I just said, like the velvet Versace gift wrap, but on the inside, what's the value there? So we get all caught on the illusion of the velvet Versace gift wrap that's like $50 gift wrap, but like, hey, what's the value on the inside? Maybe it's a lot, maybe it's not. But you won't even know if you're just worshiping the. Have you ever had wrapping paper? You like take it off and you're like folding it or saving it, preserving it. Like that's the wrapping, bro. So game with AZD, you just see deeper layers of humanity because that's just how he teaches and it's how he games. And then the illusion, you go back into it a little bit when you leave, but you also retain something that you just always kind of know the truth that there's deeper depth there and you don't have to be so reactive and it's in fact it's just not even productive to be reactive but at the same time I step on a rock while I'm walking home because I was walking on the sidewalk barefoot or whatever and hits my heel and my body goes and I don't let out a sound or anything but the body reacted because my heel stepped on a fucking rock little rock but you only need a little rock when you're barefoot step on with your heel on a pavement. So it's like the body reacts to the beauty, perhaps, but you train that almost like you're walking barefoot enough, and if you're anticipating the rock, like that's the thing. You could be walking on a trail that has a bunch of rocks and you don't experience that. But you walk on a flat sidewalk and you're expecting it to be flat and smooth, and then there's a rock and it hurts. Because the expectation, you ever step off a staircase and it's like you think there's another step and there's not, and you jar yourself because it was the floor. Or vice versa, you think it's the floor, but there's another step because you're not looking down, and then you like kind of have to catch yourself. It's just the expectation. The surprise is like 90% of the pain or whatever. So yeah, it's anyway, that's just me going off on TK. He left the stream. I guess he had to go somewhere. Oh, he's back. Oh, you're back. Okay. Well, if you want to come back, just I don't know how to do it. You can, I think I just did. What's up? We got guys on Instagram. Talk. Let's talk. Chit chat. Talk game. Where you at?
But I mean, the beasting routine, I was going through some personal stuff, don't need to share, but anyone listening who's going through some shit, man, do the beast process, attend the lectures. It's like a night and day difference. And get out here, and it's like, I say it 1,000 times, like being able to listen to an ATD live lecture is like 10x, but being here in person, being around the guys, like I saw one of his guests, that douchebag that was just cutting him off and disagreeing with everything he said. Like it was a few days ago. He posted his YouTube video, and like a lot of his like thick riders were like agreeing with him.
That's funny.
Like I went out here, I did a residency. It really helped. Like
Got it, Harley.
about they said he spent this much money and he had to sleep on the floor or something. Like if you can't fucking sleep on a full floor, dude, I'm not gonna like use the F word that rhymes with Saget on here, but it's like you're a bitch. Like, and this is coming from I'm definitely a bitch compared to you, but it's like it's very humbling, and it gets you outside your comfort zone. You may not like it, but you're gonna like how you feel afterwards. And get out here, stay out here, move out here. This shit works. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, you're already like 80% there. I mean, Tony was in Wisconsin and went through this and that. Everybody's life story, like it's quite a life story. And then finally he finds himself in Vegas and he got himself established with some gigs, and you're still hunting for better and better gigs. But I mean, you're in proximity. Like just keep at it, man. Keep showing up. That's what I got to say. I mean, if you yeah.
This is a true adults playground, and it's the city of second chances if you do it right. I'm 42 and loving my life. Thanks, let me share.
Oh, yeah, that's great. I got this guy. I don't even know if it's a real account. The problem is you don't have a profile picture, and your Instagram handle is like www work 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 kkk. Like if you just had a profile picture, I don't know. If the audience thinks I should go live with you, then fuck it. I'm just gonna go. I just accepted it. David, what's up, bro? What's the specific mindset shift you've made around all this years studying with Arash? Man, it's like, okay, if you study with a martial arts master for 10 years, and then you say, what's the one specific technique that you learned that it'd be like, what? It was so much. How do I distill it down to, I would say, okay, I know how to defend myself against anybody. So I would tell you that socially, I have practically zero confusion about what's going on. Like I don't catch myself ever in confusion. I may not understand why somebody's doing something, but it doesn't throw me off socially. Like there'll be extreme things, big tough guy he's drunk and he's getting belligerent on you. Some girl also drunk. Alcohol has a lot to do with chaos and evil. But I don't get thrown off. Like I've been through such a range, and I've been part of the mastermind for so long and seen such a range of experiences from guys, and then ACD's take on them all and advice and everything, and him relating his stories to us. And of course, reporting from his level of things, which as you get better and better at game and you experience some of the things that he experienced 10 years ago, and then you see the the wisdom of what he's saying is just so orderly. It brings order when you don't understand what's going on, the chaos. So, the biggest mindset shift is just awareness, man. Awareness of the game. If I was going to say the one biggest thing, it's awareness. It's the awareness that your awareness is going to give you your results in games. So, whatever you're experiencing with a woman or women, whatever you're experiencing with your mom, your dad, whatever you're experiencing when it comes to people, if there's a person on the other end of what you're experiencing, like it's not how I'm experiencing the weather. It is that, but I'm not going that far with it right now. I'm just saying whatever you're experiencing about your employer, your employee, your coworker, your girl, the girl you're going for, the grocery store clerk, like all of that boils down to your awareness of what's going on. Like if it's not going the pleasant, if it's not going growth oriented, if it's not getting better for everyone involved, if there's a win-lose still happening, then you're lower on awareness than you should be or could be. Could be, let's say. The curse of learning from ACD is once you start learning, it's no longer how good you could be, it's how good you should be because you're learning. So keep getting better. And then if you ever stop learning, it's, hey, you should be better. Why'd you stop learning? Because that's every course, every lecture, that's why I'm still around. I was a PhD, I was a top level wrestler. I had a lot of opportunities with coaching wrestling and like professionally, just like be a wrestling coach at a high level college or high level private school or something the rest of my life and make good money doing it. Tony, you're still on. You could mute if you're still, yeah, yeah. So if you want to go any deeper than that, I think you should come live. Can you come live? I don't know if you're still on. Work is still on. I accepted your request, brother, but it's not connecting. Okay, so we'll stay on for another quick second. Let's check YouTube if there's any comments here. Thanks for the response. We have a pending call if you want, and you are good this weekend in okay. I don't understand what you're saying. We have a pending call, like you have a pending call on the other line, or like you and I have a pending call. Okay. And guys on YouTube, you can comment. I see your comments if you join. Masculine Mindset, I see you're on that. Okay, give David Dulanix a chance to respond. IMC Vegas, everybody. It's quite an experience. Going out tomorrow night. Go out tonight. But tonight's light. When we don't go out with AZD, I go out pretty lightly. And it's just a little bit of social exposure, tuning the instrument, working with what's in front of me, but I'm not going to the big clubs. When we go out with AZD tomorrow night, that'll be just quite an experience. Last time he had 6 girls that were just like mounted up with him like a Buddha statue. Autocorrect. You offer me to talk okay a call last week. I see. You're somewhere else because I can see the accent over the A. I'm good this weekend if it's okay for you. Right now is the weekend, right? Today's Saturday. So let's talk. I mean, if you don't want to talk on the live stream right here, we could just talk right after this. Oh, www. I guess I didn't accept it. So real quick, I'm just going to accept www. David, if you want to call right after this, that'd be fine with me. Or you could just request to go live here. I can't really request people. I don't know how. Oh, I can. We don't have to though. Sometimes private stuff. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, are you David or www? What's up, man? Where are you from? Mexico, the city or the a rural area? Authentico. Yeah, 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 the real deal. This is not my language, as you know, so sorry for the accent. Oh, yeah, you speak fine. Yeah, me, I know, hablo pequeño español con cubanas en la club in Las Vegas. But no, I don't like, I go for white girls. Anyway, man, what's going on with you? How's life in Mexico? Life's good. Life's good. I've been following the Arash. Yeah. For the last, as you know, I told you on my message.
about around 10 years already, more or less.
Yeah.
And I always admire the way he communicates, and that's the thing I would like to learn. I also like, I love girls, but I don't know, bro. I think that's a thing that I never understand if it's good to learn pick up or just to let myself like what I mean work on myself and then attract them, but not in the active way, like just like for default. I don't know if I'm getting like the communication.
It sounds like you want to be more attractive, but you don't want to chase women.
Yeah, because I already tried to chase for a lot of years and it never worked well.
Yeah, because if you chase the prey, it always runs away. It sees you coming, and then it doesn't let you get close again.
Yes, I've been doing pick up for myself, not with a group. And yes, I have results, but I think the results I have, I mean, are not for the kind of woman I like.
What's wrong with them?
And
Or what do you want that you're not getting?
I think the kind of the woman I always wanted, I think they are not accessible in
I
the
see.
way I tried to pick up them in the past. I mean, I
Yeah.
think those kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
girls, you have to attract them, not go behind, what do you say? Not chase them.
Of course.
That's what I concluded for myself. So that's why I decided not to do pickup no more, but to start investing on myself and then let them come to me in a certain way.
That is a very regular strategy of upper level guy. An upper level guy works on himself, and there's all kinds of ways to do that. Investing in your own business and training, and all the way up to communication and mindset training, like Tony Robbins, is the closest you'll get to gain when it comes to like something that's more related sales. You get into communication sales trainings. It'll make you better at game indirectly, not really. And then other forms, invest in houses, build your portfolio, like become wealthy. That's most guys' route to getting girls is just build real 3D value, third dimension material value. And, uh, you know, where did you learn when you say that you put the pickup aside? Like, who did you learn pickup from, or where did you get your habits from? Do you think?
I think in YouTube there's a lot of pickup guys that teach this stuff. In the beginning, I studied a lot from Arash and from his guru. I forgot his name. Mastery.
Yeah. When you say you studied from them, what did you do any programs or just YouTube?
I
Wow. Okay.
I
Yeah.
I guess maybe
Yeah. It's difficult. That's like reading a book on boxing and then doing some boxing. You may land a hit, especially against people who don't box. But if you're going against anybody who has any training, like a beautiful woman, and you have only book knowledge, yeah, that's going to be difficult. It's going to be humbling, is what it's going to be.
you never see like a guy that has the type of woman I want.
Yeah.
Really from this type of approach.
Sure.
I've seen it in other guys that do not do pickup.
Sure.
They have the results.
Yeah.
So
Well, they have a beautiful woman at least on their arm, and they have value, obviously, right? They have some value to her.
Yes. So that's why I said like fuck it. I'm gonna work on myself, and if the correct girl is gonna come, it's gonna come.
She will come as a tuning. She'll be tuned to where you're at. So as you improve yourself, it gets better. But there are a lot of unknown. For example, there's many wealthy, many established guys. There's young wealthy guys. There's educated guys, guys that have a lot going for them, but they still don't get the quality of woman that they want. And the guys that do, the few, if you were to talk with them, well, if I was to talk with them, if AZD would definitely were to talk with them, you would see that they don't have the kind of relationship to that woman that they want. The dynamic is not pure masculine, feminine, but they have the girl and they're banging the chick and maybe they have a future with him. Who knows? But that's why most of those relationships will break because they're under the woman and the woman eventually defeats them and just they become more and more defeated as a man over time. And then a new guy who has that fresh, new, young energy will catch her eye because that's hypergamy, and then she'll jump onto that. But then it's the same curse. The woman has the same curse has the same curse from a different angle. She's just being her most beautiful, seductive self with all the toxicity that she knows, but she's just doing her best, whatever the fuck that means. And no man is strong enough. So she uses the man until he's used up and then goes to the next, and then goes to the next, and goes to the next. And the man who breaks up with her, dismisses her, the man who is too good for her, she will never forget him. But the man who tries to hold on to her, hold on to her, hold on to her, and she gets rid of him, she forgets him real fast. So it's very rare for a woman of beauty to find a man who is higher value, which the truth is most men are higher value than even the hottest woman. She doesn't have anything going for her except the influence of her looks, which is real, except it fades. And it's for the most part not merit-based. She was born with it. And she can do modifications, and that is something I appreciate, that women that work and work hard to make themselves beautiful, that's dope. But she's born with something that's going to fit. So her influence is insubstantial. In the long run, that's not what it's going to be. Unless she's paired with a king like Melania Trump and has beauty, elegance, aged well. Now she has a massive amount of influence while staying in her femininity. She's a femininity that has massive power. That's what happens when you get with the most powerful guy in the world or whatever. So versus a boss bitch that's going to be like, she's going to be miserable at 40, 50, 60. There's no man she looks up to because she's too calloused. Anyway, I'm going off on a whole like thing. So yeah, man, there is working on yourself, and then there's working on yourself in alignment with the genetic code. And yeah. What's that?
I think we have to get to a point where we have a mix from both sides, from pickup and also investing in ourselves. So to do like a kind of balance that is not just pickup and it's not just
Yeah,
invest on ourselves.
I agree. If you take pickup and other kinds of personal development, because none of those personal development can handle pickup, and pickup by itself as a tiny little subject of how to get a stranger who's a beautiful woman into bed with you, that's pickup. And you take that tiny subject that is the weakest link for almost all men everywhere. It's literally the weak link. No man really knows how to attract the attention and the comfort and trust of the woman of their dreams. They're doing it indirectly because they don't really know how to do it. So that's why pickup is important, even if it's little. Take pickup, take other personal development, any and all variety. Take a man who learns both at a high level, and now fast forward time for many, many years, and you have what AZD is teaching. He doesn't teach pickup. Any pickup you learn from him is not even the pickup he teaches. He doesn't, whatever was freely available on YouTube was not pickup. He maybe was talking about some concept, but you never learned his pickup. His pickup was build your life and then know how to talk to women to pull them into your life, have a life that's attractive to women, and build relationships with customers, with women, with men, with old, young, all varieties, be the highest value male in the community. And then just like, I don't know if you're on when I was talking to Diamond Bazell, the poet from UK, to calibrate your communication. Just like if you were doing social media advertising and you targeted age 47 to 51 white older women who are into knitting, and you only want, because if you show the ad to some black African kid that's not into knitting, what a waste of money to send the ad to that guy. You're sending it to little old spinster ladies or whatever. So if your communication is not tuned and calibrated to the beautiful woman, which is a different, women in general are different than men, then beautiful women are different than other kinds of women. And then that ranges from basically really like 14, 15, 16, but let's say 18 up until menopause, 42. there's a difference. The beautiful woman goes through different, but that takes awareness. So is your communication tuned to that in the long term? Not the pickup. The pickup, yeah, you need, but actually in AZD's systems, he doesn't teach pickup. He teaches no pickup. He say you need to go and read the mystery method and then ask me questions if you have it. But it's so easy to start conversations with women. And the difficulty is when you're in a social venue that has lots of options and opportunities, and it's basically a bunch of chimpanzees that have clicked up into groups of 4 or 5 or what have you. And money is now entering the picture in ways where guys are trying to impress with money. So now that is grabbing their attention. Now, how do you pick up the chick? Okay, that's a problem to solve because it's sometimes very difficult to find women of quality outside of social venues. They're reclusive. They go to female-dominated places like, makeup, hair, fitness, like home. Like, where are you going to meet those women? So we go to strip clubs and we go as a team and we go consistently. And Vegas is the land of strip clubs. It's the land of nightlife. The most beautiful women in America, sad you may think about it, but many of them are dancers or they're involved in the industry as waitresses or promoters or somehow. And there's a blending of the nightlife and the strip club, and there are different. But we go to those clubs because guaranteed you're interacting with women of exceptional beauty. Imagine you go in with your crew. The bouncers show respect. The owner or managers show respect. The biggest clubs in Vegas, because of our reputation and who AZD is, after a year and a half now, about 500 times going to the various clubs, reputation sets in. So now the staff is for us. The girls are kind of on rotation, but there are some girls that have been there for years, and they've seen us since we got there. They see our rise. One of the most attractive things to a woman is when she meets you, and then fast forward time, you keep getting better. You keep getting better. A year and a half later, you're making more money, you look better, your body is better, more people like you, you're happier, and you keep going. It's hard. That's where the girl who has the celebrity within her reach, but then this local guy who's charismatic, who's building a business, oh, he just opened a second business, oh, he just opened a third business. Which one do I really want? That guy who can't talk, but he's got a lot of money, and this guy who's got character and value to the community that I grew up in, that I live in. Man, when you're dealing with the most beautiful women, that's your competition, is the celebrity. But you can compete with DNA value, which is the value of father, the value of a husband, the value of a long-term mate, the value of a man who other women want. And that's what the celebrity, a lot of times the top celebrities in different ways, they have that. But as you get to know, that's the thing. That's the thing that we get exposed to, and the girls expose us to too, because they get exposure to those kinds of guys. That as you get closer to them, they're gay, they're bisexual, they're weak, they're soft, they can't talk for shit. They have no character, they have no spine. Other people run them, they're puppets. But the gift wrap, the velvety gift wrap, and that's the thing. You're not going to, it's hard to convince the girl of that until you are the opposite. You have to have character. And any personal development you do from any teacher who's not teaching the genetic code of male-female dynamics, it's not that it won't make you better. Sometimes it will. It'll make you a more honest person, maybe make you communicate when otherwise you would not have communicated. It's good. But it's the old martial arts parable, empty your cup. The more personal development a guy knows, the more full his cup is, and the less able he is actually to learn game. Especially, for example, if you think game is pickup, you're lost forever, my friend. Forever and ever, your game, you're filtering through the idea that it's pickup. But AZD has 7 girlfriends, and he stopped picking them up after like the first, few days, few weeks he knew them. So what do you do with the relationship of 19 years when you stopped picking her up 19 and a half years ago? That's where all game everywhere ends. All pickup, all dating coaches. They have no idea how to have a relationship. So you haven't even started learning AZD's game yet. But you're going to, I can tell, you have the ambition and you have the resources. So when you're ready, my job is just to talk to you about it so it makes sense. You're not going to learn pickup when you start learning AZD. You're going to learn how to be as a man so that as you get the attention from women because you have real value, you'll know how to lead all the way to a relationship without losing your masculinity to her, which is what most, if not all, the guys around you that you see that have a fine woman, they've lost their masculinity to her. Behind closed doors, they're not making the decisions.
Yes, I think that's the thing. I mean, you're like separating the word pickup and game. And I was like talking about pickup as a whole. So what you're saying, what I understand of what you are saying is that pickup is not that important, but we have to learn the game, the whole game, once we are open to, or we have access to talk to any chick. The important thing to know is how to move and how to talk and how to be and how to express ourselves and how to manage a relationship from a stranger in the process to make the girl be attracted to you, right? I mean, that's the thing. I think that's the thing that you are trying to. Well, what you are actually telling me. It's not that much about pickup. It's more about what you do once you have like a girl in your orbit.
Well, yes, I am saying that, and if I can add on to what you're saying, maybe refine it a little bit. I appreciate you reflecting it back to me, what you understood. Pickup is as important as you want it to be. Pickup is a computer hack of the social dynamics matrix for how to quickly get the attention of highly desirable women and attract them to you. The system of mystery method is what I also believe, and AZD says, and he believes, is the correct system for pickup. It's how to pick up. The problem with learning it is that to learn it, you have to learn mimicry. You're mimicking someone else's communication to achieve the goal. And so that's kind of like building a house on sand. You can place the sand so it looks stable and then start building the house, and the house keeps shifting and falling apart. That's why even the top pickup coaches on earth can't keep relationships with the women that they pick up because they've built a house on unstable character. So what AZD teaches is character, because, well, I want to say more, but I want to stop it there and see what you got from that, if anything.
Trying to clear my mind on what you were saying. So what you were just to receive, I mean to conclude, you're saying both things are important: pickup and character, right?
Ultimately, to get any girl, any relationship, anywhere, ever, you will have had to have picked her up somehow.
Yeah.
So pickup is inevitable if you're gonna have sex with a girl. At some point, in some way, whether it takes 10 years or 2 minutes, you had to pick her up somehow. The pickup business of it, or the philosophy of it, is getting good at that. It's like, how can I get good at this thing? And in the effort to be good at it, guys became fake. And if you're fake, everything will fall apart. Yes. And so that's where pickup and personal development fall short. Personal development does not teach you female psychology in the way that actually works. They'll teach you nice guy psychology, how to be a nice guy and win her over with your politeness. But you won't be an edgy bad boy who triggers her DNA. Oh, I gotta have him, which is what AZD character is. The character effortlessly walks through the world, triggering attraction in women. And the prettier she is, the more attracted she gets. That's why it's a different level of communication. The uglier she is, the more insecure she will be about it, or to the point where he's out of my level. And then you'll see an interesting thing happen where the ugly girl will relate very naturally to AZD, because she sees him so above her that she'll actually come to him as a guru-student relationship. And that's an amazing thing to see, because he's not trying to do any of that. He's just living.
So the question is, for example, me, I'm in Mexico. If I would like to learn all this stuff,
Yeah, I'm listening.
Is there like a program online that I can start to learn all this kind of information?
Yes. And there's a lot of different things that he's taught. And so that's the thing about it, is just getting you what's most relevant to what you want. And I have a video that is a curriculum that describes the things he's taught. Basically, I've run his programs for about 6 years. Everything that I personally did not record has been deleted. He deleted it. He didn't want anybody watching his old YouTubes, any of his old products, any of his old daily class, none of it. So the only thing that's available is these old camps and his current mentorship, which is expensive and also gets deleted. So if you don't watch it right away, it's deleted. And not necessarily my recommendation for new guys, because it's just gonna it's just not my recommendation. I could explain more if you want, but it depends your ambition. For example, I'll give you 2 or 3 examples of trainings that I would recommend, and they'll all be different prices, and this will be good for like anybody that cares about this stuff that's online. So, because we're streaming, there's a few guys on other platforms here. So, the first thing I'll say is the cheapest and the most enticing, and it's also the oldest product that I have. It's about 8 years old, and it's called Invisible Love. It's $200, and for 5 hours, he's explaining why one man, multiple women is the best strategy on earth. And he goes from 0 to hero, sperm and egg, this, that, this, that, this, that, all the way to the end. And the thing about it is that I think a lot of people have a hard time valuing until you're in the situation yourself, is that he had 3 of his girlfriends in the background. So as he's explaining it, they're asking questions, and they're hot, right? So it's like you're getting the real time back and forth of how do you explain this thing to women? Now, given it's 8 years old, so he doesn't say it the same way now. That's a lot of evolution. He's been in it, but it's very digestible. It's very understandable to guys, and it's only $200. So it's like it's the cheapest thing on my website. And other than the free, I mean, the newsletter is free. There's a lot of free stuff. YouTube is free. There's free stuff, but so that's where I go if your interest is just seeing the truth of it, man, because he's the real fucking deal. He's got multiple girlfriends that are 10s. Like, how does he explain this thing? How does he make it work? And he's still in it. 3 of his girlfriends been with him over 10 years. So back when he did those lectures, they're still with him. So it's like, okay, this shit is actually working. The next thing I would recommend is possibly the highest sold training of all time. That of all the, I've been running his shit for 6 years. So I have about 150 of these advanced trainings that some of them just don't make the cut. They and then the top 30 or 35 of them is what I work with guys when I recommend shit. And so this other one is called Chosen. The thing about it is it's very Christian based. He starts decoding the Bible at a high level, goes into forgiveness and really understanding what an alpha male is from a spiritual dimension and how to have relationships that are aligned with God, Jesus, male, female, child. And, so it's one of the most important things that he's ever contributed to Earth. At the same time, it's not going to, it won't necessarily help your game the way you think of game. It'll help your relationships long term. Long term, it's the North Star. But in the short term, it might actually repel women because you'll want to talk about Jesus and shit with them, and that's not attractive to them. So consider that. That one's $450, and it's long. It's like 30 hours of content. It's really good. Like I said, it's top. And then the other thing, most expensive thing that it died. Oh, what a cliffhanger. Guys, you feel the cliffhanger of that? Fuck. What a pitch that was about to be. Jeez. How funny is that? I shouldn't have seen that coming. Dang. Okay. Well, we'll wrap it up here. I'll go ahead and say it because this recording is going. I don't know if that'll turn on in time. And even if it does, he won't go back to the live. The last thing I was going to recommend is the Beast Bundle. The Beast Bundle is, again, one of the top contributions AZD's given planet Earth. It's a set of disciplines, but in a certain order and with a creativity using imagination and a organic mindset. It's organically developing your process based on certain pillars of morning and evening processes that help you declutter your mind, unstick your thoughts. And I'm a guy that came from yoga. I came from a lot of meditation, like at a high level. I came from wrestling, athletics at a high level. Like we have processes, workouts, things like that. It's that but more, even though it's less. It's less, but it's more because it's more effective, but it's less activity. And it's essential to survive in Las Vegas at the level that we do. We have to have a beast process to make it work. I've seen people drop off that they lack discipline. So it's the art and science of being the most attractive man just based on your character and discipline. If you knew nothing else, if you could only get one thing ever of AZDs and never study anything else, I would recommend the Beast Bundle. Even over Chosen, I'd recommend the Beast Bundle because the Chosen will make you soft, even if you're righteous. The Beast Bundle will at least make you a protector, and I don't think the Chosen will. But that would be the second recommendation, be Chosen, the kind of yin yang of each other. And then beyond that, everything else. Okay, everybody. I don't think there's any more questions, right? We went for a full hour. I didn't even think I was going to make it an hour. I was ready to quit after 10 minutes. So that was interesting. Salute everybody. imcbase1.com. It's in the bio of the accounts or the description or whatever. imcbase1.com. Check out the trainings, free newsletter, all that good stuff. Come to Vegas. Be the best. Fuck the rest. Os.